Hey everybody, Jordan here. It has been 2 weeks since I've been able to play D&D, but we finally did, so let's get back to White Plume Mountain. And so when we last left our adventurers, they had defeated a giant crab by turning it into a fish, by polymorphing it into a fish. They found Wave, the magical trident, which the Triton barbarian was really excited. After that, they left and took the only path that was left to them, which happened to be covered in green slime. Now, in Tales of the Yawning Portal, it says that there is some green slime here, and for green slime, please look at Chapter 5 of the Dungeon Master's Guide. And I just want to say, Wizards of the Coast, give a page number. Like, you have the ability to give a page number. You said chapter 5. You could have easily said page blah, blah, blah of the Dungeon Master's Guide, because during the middle of the game, I have to stop, look up what green slime does again. It's just kind of frustrating. The druid rolled excellent. I think almost a natural 20. It was probably a 19 or a 20 on her perception check. So she saw the green slime ahead of time, decided to poke at it with her stick, which green slime dissolves armor and wood and things like that. So I had to eat her quarterstaff. So she lost her quarterstaff, but they have figured out that the green slime was dangerous. They then began to test it and see what actually would hurt it. So they brought their torches over and tried fire. And fire, it says in the Dungeon Master's Guide, destroys green slime. So they bypassed that pretty quickly. They set all of the patches of green slime on fire. It burned up, and they were able to walk past. Up next, they could decide to go left or right. Left leads them to the room with the golems, and right leads them to the room with the glass orbs. They decided to go left, so they went to the room with the golems. And the golems have a bunch of numbers written on them, and the numbers are 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. And the riddle they present is, one of us doesn't belong. If you are correct in the one that doesn't belong, the golem goes with you. If you choose incorrectly, then all the golems attack.
He chose poorly.
The riddle is fairly simple because 9 isn't a prime number and the rest of them are prime. There was a caveat, though, is that they had 60 seconds to do this. So after I said, hey, here are the numbers and you have 60 seconds, I brought up my phone and I said, okay, start a 60-second timer. And so the seconds were ticking away. Everyone was freaking out. The druid was like, I roll perception. What do I see? And I'm like, you see numbers on golems. I don't know what else you want. She's like, anything else? Like, what do I perceive? The bard was freaking out, like writing down numbers, trying to figure it out. The barbarian, she was the only calm one. And she just raised her hand and she was like, the answer is 9. 9 isn't a prime number. So they got it in about 30 seconds. In hindsight, it's a really easy riddle. It's not really. I watched Saving Throw show on Twitch because they are running the same encounter, and I wanted to get some ideas on the next room, the Boiling Mud Room. And he straight up was just like, that is too easy of a puzzle, so I'm going to give you 5 different riddles. I almost did that. I almost stole his riddles because it was really fun, and his characters on the show had a lot of fun, but I wanted to run this as is. So I decided to stick with it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to run it as is. But I did get some ideas for the next room. So the next room is the Boiling Mud Room. I guess I should describe the room. So I spent some time drawing this map, which you can see here. I drew this the day before so that I would have it all prepped and ready. But the room is just a 50-foot drop to boiling mud. And then there are these wooden platforms that are on chains that go 50 feet up to the ceiling. So it's a 100-foot tall room. And then you have to make athletics checks from wooden platform to wooden platform, or figure out some other way to get across. What I stole from them is that the geysers would go off every 5 minutes or 3 minutes. And what I decided is that the geysers, or what Saving Throw Show did, is that the geysers go off when on a dice roll. So he would take out a D6 and he would say to a player, pick a number between 1 and 6, and he would then roll the die. And if that die landed on the number that the player picked, the geyser went off. So it's kind of this fun, like you're choosing your own fate. Like you're the one that's unlucky, not like the DM is lucky, but the player is unlucky. I don't know, and I kind of like that aspect. So I did that. Now, rewarding creative play is something I'm always trying to do, and the druid decided to cast. She wanted to create large insect, like a flying insect, to see if that flying insect could fly us across. So I thought that was a great idea. And I said, you find a flying beetle of some kind, like here in this dungeon, and you enlarge it. But we checked the monster manual, and an enlarged bug is still a small creature. But I wanted to reward creative ideas. So I said, you know what? This is going to work. You're gonna be able to fly across with this bug, because I think that's a really great idea, and you're utilizing some magic. We're going to have to do a couple checks, like 2 checks of the geysers for you to get over there. And then the bug can't carry the fighter, because I said the fighter's in heavy armor, like he's just way too heavy. So we ruled out that the bug couldn't do that. The barbarian that has Wave the Trident, she said, could I put a cube of force around them in case they get hit by the geyser? And I said, yes. So if the geyser hit anybody, which it hit a couple people, if they made their dex save, I just said they didn't take any damage. And if they didn't make their dex save, they took half damage. So normally you would take full damage or half damage if you made the dex save, and I just nullified it to half damage or 0 damage. Because again, I was trying to reward creative play, and I thought that was really awesome that from a distance you were creating this cube of force around them to kind of protect them from the hot mud. Ultimately, the fighter was the one that had to make the jumps across, the half-orc fighter. So he decided to make these jumps. He did really well up until about the middle when he failed, but they were smart and they decided to string a rope between the entire area. So he slipped and fell, but made the saving throw to grab onto this rope, which he then swung himself back onto the platform and made the successful jumps across, with minor eruptions from the thing. I was really stressing this whole room. I honestly thought I was going to kill somebody, but because I'm like, they don't have flight. They don't have dimension door. Like, I'm not sure how they're going to get across this, especially if they have to make athletics checks, when I know for a fact that the bard and the halfling have like a negative to their athletics score. It's kind of a letdown. Like, I was really expecting this to be more of a challenge than it was. You know, luck of the draw, the dice rolls didn't hit him very much. They were really smart about using wave, and they were really smart about using like a flying insect for help. So yeah, it was kind of interesting. In hindsight, I probably should have had the flying insect have some kind of like constitution score to keep going, like roll to see how tired it was. Again, that's hindsight. I thought of that literally like the next day when I woke up. I was just like, oh, I should have done that. And it's all done now. In the final room is a vampire, and they played around with the globe of darkness. Inside the whole room is enveloped in a magical darkness. The bard ended up dispelling away the darkness. They went in, the vampire appeared out of its coffin, summoned a swarm of bats, and then they attacked. Everybody did really well. I was excited that the fighter couldn't use Black Razor anymore, because Black Razor actually heals undead and hurts the holder. So he had to switch back to his other weapon, which kind of like balanced out the fight just a little bit. I messed up because a vampire has resistance to damage, and I was not resisting his damage. I was just taking all of the damage and then using his blood suck ability to like heal myself back up. So the fight went a little faster than probably it should have, but at the same time, we had people at the table that had appointments and they had to leave by like 4:30. So we kind of just wrapped it up. The Triton barbarian was really smart and made, she was like, I think vampires can't cross moving water. So she used her water wall ability to create a little stream around the vampire to like contain him. And in the monster manual, if they cross that running water, they take like 20 acid damage. I just had him take 20 acid damage as he moved through the water to get back to the players to attack some more. But I thought that was really clever, kind of using in this case, using your player knowledge, but it was still really clever to use the water wall ability in a new way. In the following area should be really straightforward. The glass ballroom is really straightforward, and then when they leave the dungeon, there's just a really epic fight against 2 Efreet. So I think it'll be a lot of fun, but as far as prep-wise, there's not a whole bunch I can do. But I am working on this one-shot that I'm writing, and it's going to be for 5 level 3 characters, and I just kind of want to have a one-shot in my back pocket, you know? Like there's lots of one-shots out there, but I was like, you know what? You can write one. And I've kind of had this idea for a while, so I think I'm going to write this 3-hour one-shot I've got most of it written. I just kind of have to formulate a few battles, and then I want to run it with my players to see if it is effective. Like if it's too tough, if it's not tough enough, if it's just overall fun. So we'll see. And that'll probably be my next video. Well, the next video will be about the final of White Plume Mountain, and then probably new characters that they're building for this one shot. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit a like, please subscribe. We're all new videos every Wednesday and a new campaign diary whenever I play a game. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.